Hello students, good morning to all of you. I am Kshitij Batham and in today's lecture we are going to study projectile motion part 2. This is part of the chapter number 4, motion in a plane, physics part 1, CBSE and CRT for class 11th. Okay, so before we start, I would like to request one and all to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon to receive the future notifications. So we will start with projectile motion attributes. What are the attributes of projectile motion? Okay, so what is projectile? Projectile means an object that is launched into air, that is in air, okay, so that it moves under the influence of gravity alone. Okay, it means only force that is acting on an object is gravity. Practically it should be gravity, but normally in our real life sometimes we may encounter air resistance while object is moving in the air, but for all the purposes we can assume air resistance to be negligible in front of gravity. Okay, so what are the attributes of projectile motion? So projectile motion, so first thing we need to understand what is the component of velocity along the x-axis and component of the acceleration along the x-axis, component of the velocity along y-axis and acceleration along y-axis. Okay, so we know that when we are projecting an object with velocity u, okay, that is the velocity of projection, making an angle theta with the horizontal, that is angle of projection. So velocity u, that is instantaneous velocity of projection, can be resolved into two components. One is horizontal component, component of velocity along the x-axis, and other one will be vertical component, component of the velocity along y-axis. So component of the velocity along x-axis is given by ux is equal to u cos theta, and component of velocity along y-axis will be given by uy is equal to u sin theta. Okay, these are two components of velocity and theta is called as angle of projection. Okay, so now what will be the acceleration on the projectile? There will be two component of acceleration, one is ax, another is ay. Ay is acceleration along x-axis, component of acceleration along x-axis, and ay is the component of acceleration along y-axis. So we know that when a projectile is launched, so component of the acceleration along x-axis will be 0. Why it will be 0? The only force acting on the projectile is gravity, and gravity does not occur sideways. Gravity always occur downwards. Okay, so there will be only vertical component of acceleration that will be equal to minus g or g, depend upon whether it is ascent or it is descent. Okay, and component of the acceleration along x-axis will be 0. Why it will be 0? Gravity does not occur sideways and there is no other force except gravity. Okay, so now we will discuss other terminologies. So what do you mean by time of projection? Okay, what is the time of flight? Time of flight of a projectile means total time taken by the projectile from its projection to the point when projectile reaches the lowest most point in its trajectory. That is called as time of flight. Okay, that means from O to B, total time taken by the projectile from the instant of projection to the point when the projectile hits the ground or projectile is at its lowest point, that is time of flight. Now time of flight consists of two parts. One is time of ascent, another is time of descent. Okay, so this journey during the ascent time of the projectile projected object deaccelerates. Its velocity will keep on decreasing and at point A it will become equal to 0, and after that velocity will again increase till it hits the ground and comes to rest. Okay, so from the journey from O to A, journey from O to A will be called as ascent, and journey from A to B will be called as descent. Journey from O to A will be called as ascent, and journey from A to B will be called as descent. And time taken from O to A is called as ascent time, and A to B is called as descent time. Okay, so now we will discuss what is maximum height. Okay, maximum height is the point at which vertical component of velocity becomes zero. Means, as we know that as we are projecting the projectile, okay, its vertical component will keep on decreasing, and when it will reach the point A, it stops vertical movement. It is the highest point. Okay, it stops vertical movement. Object will not go further vertically. So A is the point when uy will become equal to 0. So distance of that point from the ground will be called as maximum height. In other words, maximum height is defined as maximum distance on y-axis. So how much object is moving up on the y-axis from the origin, the vertical height is called as height of the projectile. Now what is range of the projectile? Range of the projectile is horizontal displacement. Okay, horizontal displacement of the projectile from point of launch to point when projectile hits the ground. From O to B, distance OB is called as range. Okay, so range is the horizontal displacement. Okay, range is horizontal displacement, i.e. total distance traveled along the horizontal axis from the point of projection to point of hitting the ground, that is called as range of the projectile. So we have discussed time of flight, time of ascent, time of descent, maximum height, range of the projectile. Okay, vertical component of velocity, horizontal component of velocity, vertical component of acceleration, horizontal component of acceleration till now. So now we will move to next slide. So we will get the formulas, different formulas. Okay, so we are assuming that angular projection is theta, angular projection is theta, and velocity of projection is u. Okay, angular projection is theta and velocity of projection is u. Okay, so time of maximum height, okay, that is time of ascent, total time taken by the projectile to reach the maximum height, it will be given by u sin theta by g. Time of maximum height Tm is u sin theta by g. Okay, and same will be time of descent, time from maximum height to time hit the ground. Okay, so total time of flight will be given by 2u sin theta by g. This is formula for time of flight. It will be equal to 2 Tm. Okay, as we know that up to maximum height during the time when the projectile is launched to the time it reaches maximum height, that is called as time of ascent. During this, projectile deaccelerate and then projectile accelerate, but time taken by the projectile from launch to maximum height and from maximum height to hitting the ground will be same, that will be equal to u sin theta by g. That means time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Okay, and time of flight will be 2u sin theta by g. And maximum height of the projectile hm is given by u square sin square theta by 2g, or within bracket u sin theta whole square by 2g. This is maximum height of the projectile. You need to learn the formula. It will be very useful while you will be doing numerical problems. Okay, now we will go to horizontal range of the projectile. Now horizontal range of the projectile is the horizontal displacement between the point of launch to point it hits the ground, or it is at lowest point in its trajectory. It is given by u square sin 2 theta by g. Okay, so now maximum horizontal range. We know that horizontal range is u square sin 2 theta by g, and we know that range of the sin 2 theta lies between -1. Range of sin 2 theta lies between -1 and +1. So maximum possible value of sine 2 theta is 1. So putting sine 2 theta is equal to 1 in the formula, we will get maximum horizontal range as u square by g. And when will it occur? At theta is equal to 45. You know that sine 2 theta is equal to sine, okay, just a minute, sine 2 theta is equal to 90. Sine 2 theta is equal to 1. So theta is equal to 2 theta is equal to 90 and theta will be equal to 45. So maximum horizontal range will occur when theta is equal to 45. Now we will move to next slide. We will do the formula derivations now. Okay, so now we will do the derivation for time of flight. So what is time of flight? Time of flight is the total time taken by projectile from its point of launch to the lowest most point in the trajectory. From the point of launch to the point it hits the ground, or it is at the lowest point in the trajectory, that will be called as time of flight. So we know that displacement of the projectile in time t along the y-axis is given by y is equal to v o y t minus ka half gt square. This formula we have discussed in previous video. Okay, so we know that viy will be equal to vi sin theta by g minus ka half t square. Okay, so when object will hit the ground, that means when the projectile will complete its journey, at that point displacement along the y-axis will be equal to 0. Displacement along the y-axis will be equal to 0 when object will hit the ground, or when the object will be at the lowest most point in the trajectory. So we will put the value of y equal to 0, viy is equal to vi sin theta, and we will get 0 is equal to vi sin theta t minus half gt square, where t is time of flight, total time taken by the projectile to hit the ground from the point of its projection. So you will get half gt square is equal to vi sin theta t. We are rearranging the terms, and by solving we will get t is equal to 2 vi sin theta by g, where vi is the velocity of the projectile and theta is the angle it makes with the horizontal. Okay, and we know that t is equal to 2 vi sin theta upon g. It will consist of two times. One is time of ascent and other is time of descent. Both will be equal. Ta will be equal to td is equal to t by 2. Okay, Ta is equal to tb is equal to t by 2. So you will get Ta is equal to td is equal to vi sin theta by g. That means time of ascent is equal to time of descent, and both will be equal to vi sin theta by g. Vi sin theta by g. This is the formula for time of ascent and time of descent. Next slide. Next slide is maximum height. Okay, maximum height is the maximum distance moved along the y-axis. Okay, so how will you calculate maximum height of a projectile? So we will use a simple concept. When the object will be at the maximum height, it will stop moving vertically. That means the vertical component of velocity will be equal to 0. Vertical component of the velocity will be equal to 0. So we know that equation for displacement is given by s is equal to ut minus half gt square. This is the Newton's second equation of motion. So we are putting a is equal to minus g. Okay, and since the object is moving along the vertical axis, velocity will be equal to viy sin theta. So we will get delta y is equal to viy sin vo sin theta into t minus half gt square. Okay, this is the formula for displacement. Okay, so now we will get delta y. We will put the value of t. How will you get the value of t? So at the highest point, we know that vertical component of velocity will be equal to 0. Okay, and vertical component of velocity is given by vy is equal to vo sin theta minus gt. It will equal to 0. So you will get the value of t from this formula. You will get t is equal to VO sin theta upon G. VO sin theta upon G. And you will put it in this equation. You will put t is equal to VO sin theta upon G in delta y is equal to V0 sin theta t minus half GT square. So you will get VO sin theta into VO sin theta upon G from this formula already discussed minus half G VO sin theta upon G whole square, and while solving you will get delta y max is equal to VO square sin square theta upon 2G. This is the formula for maximum height. That means U square sin square theta upon 2G. And what will be the maximum height? Maximum height will happen when sin square theta will become equal to 1. Okay, when sin square theta will become equal to 1, when sin theta becomes equal to 1, that will happen at theta is equal to 90. Okay, so you will get maximum height by the formula v square sin square theta upon 2G, where v is the velocity of projection, theta is the angle of projection. And when will the maximum height be maximum? Maximum height will be maximum at theta is equal to 90. Okay, so it will be equal to v square upon 2G maximum height. So now we will move to horizontal range. So we will use two different methods to calculate the horizontal range. We will calculate the horizontal range using two different methods. Okay, so before I explain the derivation for horizontal range or equation for horizontal range, I would like to request you to see the video number 1 of the projectile motion. There we have discussed that equation of trajectory of the projectile is given by x tan theta minus g by 2 vi cos square theta x square. So this equation I am directly borrowing from previous video. This equation has already been discussed in previous video. I am not going to tell it more how it came. You can find it in previous video. Okay, so now we know that for the entire motion y will be equal to 0 and x will be equal to r. That means distance traveled along the x-axis, that is displacement along the x-axis, is known as range of the projectile. That means x is equal to r. Okay, r, capital R, it denotes range of the projectile, and displacement along the y-axis will be equal to 0. You know, since the launching point and the hitting point of the projectile are at the same level, so y will be equal to 0. Okay, so put the value of x is equal to r and y is equal to 0 in the equation of trajectory of projectile. Put in this, you will get 0 is equal to tan theta into r minus g upon 2v square cos square theta into r square. Okay, so now you need to rearrange the terms. You will rearrange the terms. Okay, so you will get g upon 2v square cos square theta into r square is equal to tan theta into r. Okay, so now we know that tan theta is equal to sin theta upon cos theta, and we will cancel r on both the sides. So we will get g by 2b square cos square theta into r is equal to sin theta upon cos theta. Further solving by rearranging the terms, you will get r is equal to v square 2 sin theta cos theta upon g. Okay, and as we know that sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta, directly replacing 2 sin theta cos theta with sin 2 theta, we will get r is equal to v square sin 2 theta upon g. So r is equal to v square sin 2 theta upon g. This is the equation for horizontal range. Okay, and now when will it be maximum? Horizontal range will be maximum when the term involving sine is 1. Why it will be 1? Reason is range of the sine function is from -1 to +1. Sine function can never be more than 1. So r will be maximum when sin 2 theta will be equal to 1. And when sin 2 theta will be equal to 1, when 2 theta will become equal to 90. Solving, you will get theta is equal to 45. That means the range of the projectile is maximum when it is projected in direction inclined to the horizontal at an angle of 45. So at theta is equal to 45, at 45 angle of projection, the range of the projectile will be maximum. And when it will be maximum height will be at theta is equal to 90, as we have already discussed in the previous slide. Okay, so this is how we are getting horizontal range by one method. There is one more method that is simpler than this, but whatever you are getting, both the methods are equally acceptable. Okay, so now we will move to another method. Another method is like this. Okay, what is R? R is horizontal displacement of the projectile. That means the horizontal distance traveled by the projectile before returning to ground. So we know that distance is equal to speed into time. Okay, so when we are talking about the horizontal displacement, we will talk about horizontal component of velocity. And what is the horizontal component of velocity? That is v0 cos alpha. Cos alpha. Okay, this is the horizontal component of velocity. And what is t? T is time of flight. So x will be equal to vo cos alpha into t. Okay, so what is t? T is time of flight. It is given by the formula 2u sin alpha by g, and x will be equal to r as the definition suggests. Putting both the values t and x in this formula, this and this you are putting in this formula, you are getting r is equal to v0 cos alpha into 2v sin alpha upon g. Rearranging the term, you will get r is equal to u square sin 2 alpha upon g. This is already derived by another method, and this is other method. This is one more method. I am giving you two methods to derive the formula for range. Okay, so we have to learn that 2 sin alpha cos alpha is equal to sin 2 alpha. This trigonometric identity we have used in this derivation. So r is equal to v square sin 2 alpha upon g, and it will be maximum at alpha is equal to 45. Okay, and r will be equal to v square by g. Okay, when alpha is equal to 45. Okay, we will move to next slide now. We will study variation of range with angular projection. Okay, so we are projecting the projectile with different angles. Okay, as we know that the range will be maximum at angular projection equal to 45. So we can see it. Range is maximum, and it will be equal to v square by g. Range will be equal to v square by g at 45. At angles lower to 45, range will be less than maximum range. V square by g, it will be less than maximum range. At alpha is equal to 20, there will be some range. At alpha is equal to 30, there will be some range. At alpha is equal to 60, there will be some range. And at other angles, there will be some range, but range will be maximum at alpha is equal to 45. Okay, but I would like to tell you one concept here. At angle alpha or theta with the horizontal, and angle theta with the vertical, theta with the horizontal and theta with the vertical. Okay, the range will remain same. That means suppose an object is making angle 20 degrees with the horizontal, and it is making 20 degrees with the vertical. In both the cases, range will be same. Okay, it can be easily derived or inferred from the formula. That means 20 degree with the horizontal and 20 degree with the vertical, or in other words, 20 degree with the horizontal and 70 degree with the horizontal. In both the case, range will be same. That means at an angle theta and 90 minus theta, in both the cases range will be same. That means at 20 and 70 range will be same, and at 30 and 60 range will be same, and 45 range will be maximum. Okay, so these are all the important concepts of projectile we have discussed in today's lecture. Okay, hope you got them. Okay, so thanks for patient listening, and see you soon in our next video. Thank you.